Hey guys, this is National Master Kevin Yang back at it with another video. So we will be talking about what we picked off of from last time. So the you know, the positional tension with this move F3 that really broke it, right? So it really felt like these pieces were sort of disconnected from the king side. So I talked about how this move was sort of ill-intentioned or didn't have some sort of purpose. I would say it was just sort of like, you know what, I want to match the pawn structure. It looks cool, but other than that, didn't have much intention. So I played queen g5, thinking that, okay, my threat's pretty strong, right? And I thought it was. Didn't know if it really was. Apparently there's such thing as knight d5, and after bishop f1, white is okay. So our chess club member played bishop f1, fine enough. Now I was thinking whether king h1 was the right move. Right? I was thinking, should we hold all the pawns? So after king h1, I was thinking, what do I do? Right? First of all, I could go queen g3, and then I could go g5, h5, g4. I could do that, right? g5, h5. Knight e7, knight g6, bam. Was that the right idea? I don't know. So think of it like this. The knight gets here. The pawn gets here. This pawn gets here. Is that possible? Yes, but it's going to take time, right? So I didn't think about all that. I said, you know what, let's just play it out. So bishop f1, I took on h3. I said, I'm going to keep the pressure going. You cannot take because it's pinned. Let's keep going. So after rook e2, I didn't know whether I was supposed to take this rook. I said, you know what? This rook looks really bad. So why should I even take it, right? I love my knights. Why should I even take it? So I played queen g3. And after queen e1, I sort of realized, what about this guy, right? What do I do about this fork? Am I supposed to trade and take? Am I supposed to do that? Or am I supposed to say, you know what? I'll take the rook first, and after, let's say, the knight takes, I bring my queen back. Should I do that? And then I thought, why not just bring the queen back, right? Because I still have this threat now, and it looks like I'm still going to get the rook. So I said, you know what? Let's do that. And our chess club member said, let's put more defenses on this square. I said, bring it on. I'm just going to take one of your pawns, threaten the rook, maybe bring the other knight in, who knows. So after rook c1, I bring the other knight in. Our chess club member sacrifices in exchange, knight takes, and after knight d5, I sort of think, you know what? This knight seems pretty strong. Let me just kick it out. After knight b6, I'm thinking, okay, so he can't go here, he can't go here. If he goes here, I got some ninja eyes right here. So I get rook a7 down. I said, you know what? Can't go back, and you can't go here, and you can't go here either. But never mind. You can, because after rook takes, queen takes rook. So brilliant move by the chess club member. So after rook d7, knight b6 back again, because the rook was threatening it. And after knight b6, I say, you know what? I'm going to box this guy in. Said no more of that fuss. And after knight c8, I said, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm very sorry. And after g4, our chess club member just forgot about en passant. Queen g2, knight e3, queen h1, queen f4. And now I'm sorting to look towards options to finish our opponent off. And to me, what mostly stood out was the idea of breaking through on this file, right? So I had ideas bishop g4 and queen takes f1. That was my goal. Look, bishop c3, bishop g4. This was my goal. And after f takes g4, queen takes f1, knight takes f1, rook takes f1. Bam, 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 checkmate, right? So that was my goal. So I sort of just zoned down on this square, ready to bring the rook in, ready to bring the bishop in. Bishop g2, rook f7, knight b3, and now I said, you know what? I was like, I'm tired of this. Like, even though this queen sacrifice is not sound, I know it can be met by sacrificing a few pieces back. But I said, you know what? I want to keep this guy. I knew the best move. Okay, in a realistic game, I would have thought about this move, right? I would have gone with the knight takes bishop move and then queen takes pawn. But I said I want to have a little fun, right? Especially with chess club members, it's important that for me, I should have fun, and for you, you should have fun as well. Improvement is a side thing. Having fun is the main thing. And so I should always stress that in anyone I teach or in anyone that watches my videos, right? You should be playing chess because you enjoy it. You should not be playing chess because your parents forced you to, because you had to do something or a chore, you had a grudge over it, and you had to play chess. No, that's not what chess is for. It's, you could think of it as, you know what, I want to improve my mind, for one. Number two, I want to grow myself. And number three, I just want to know how everything works. I want to have fun. So that's the main thing. So I had fun. I said queen takes f3. I'm ready to barrel down, right? After queen h3, unfortunate. So here's what I thought. I thought, you know what? I was like, it looks too good to be true. And I know this is winning, but oh, after bishop takes f3, rook takes f3. And here I thought, what do I do? Right? So first of all, white could play rook takes e3, and I would play rook takes e3 with the follow-up of rook e1. And after bishop c3, protecting this square, I'd play rook takes d3 and just wipe them out. Now, another thought I had was, what if the queen just took the rook? Rook takes f3, and after knight d2, right? The knight is threatening the rook, and the rook is threatening the knight. But there's this move rook f2 that after rook takes e3, rook takes knight. Perfectly fine. So rook takes, pawn takes, king takes, and a knight d1 check with the fork on the bishop. Hopefully you follow that, but if you don't, feel free to leave a comment. I can show you whatever I want. So that was what I was thinking, right? So queen h3, right? You might think, okay, what? Is that free? I said, yeah, that is free, but I want to checkmate it, right? What about queen f1? My plan all along was to bury down on this file. And after bishop takes, rook takes, queen takes, and now this is checkmate. So let me just highlight a few things I thought about this game. Now, the main reason why I won this game, of course, was because I was making progress. Now, I like to note this I was making progress quite harshly because it was precisely the reason why, right? So we have to reason that I had a thing going on this side. I had a thing. I was pushing, 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 but you could see that White just laid his post down. And I think that was the difference, that I was making progress and our Chesco member was doing a little bit too much defending. Sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes that's a bad thing. But in this case, it helped me more, right? So I progressed. So let's look F4, right? And especially this move F3. It's sort of like, this side, we want to cut off all remaining connections. It just felt really bad, right? Because after bishop f6, bishop h4, I could have done that, or I could have done what I did in the game. So it sort of gave me a new frontier to work with. So in addition, really, these three pieces, they looked, really clumsy, right? These two guys and this guy just dominated the show. So if you'll see, it's just these two guys didn't really move much, and that's something you have to look at when you're analyzing your games. Usually when you win an opponent, it really depends upon the progress you make in a game, right? If you don't make any progress from your starting position, you're never going to win a game. So for example, right, the knight just went gone. And then you can notice how this bishop came out once and he never moved. This knight, he came out, but he didn't do much. And so I would say really the main difference in this game was the level of activity, right? So some things I'd like to sum up with are that every move should have an intention. Now, you might think, okay, this is the 50th time I've heard this man tell me that. It's true, right? So every move has to have an intention. Like, you should be able to tell the person next door or the person you're playing chess why you're making the move. Why am I moving the knight here? Well, I am here to prevent this move, right? Or I'm moving the pawn here because I want to attack your knight. Something like that. A quick justification. Sometimes, even when you're playing games, when you're looking for plans, you have to say, okay, what does my move accomplish? And then the advanced thing is going to your opponent and saying, what does my opponent have as possibilities? Right? So it's those small things that make a difference. And hopefully, in terms of judgment or strategy or whatever, you learned, but you had fun. Because having fun is my main goal, right? You want to analyze, you want to have fun in analyzing the complexities, but always don't get mad if you lose, because losing is a part of the process. Well, I bet you I have lost way more than you have, but that's okay, right? I'm okay with it. I'm still here, and I'm supporting you every step of the way. So thank you.